And welcome to our live coverage here courtside in Arthur Ashe Stadium. Former world number 1, current world number 6, and reigning Wimbledon champion Novak Djokovic has just taken the court preparing for his match against Joao Souza of Portugal. Souza also on the court right now, just finishing up his practice session. Novak just beginning. Court time, of course, limited here in Arthur Ashe Stadium as they gear up for play to resume at noon Eastern. Souza coming into the tournament ranked number 68 in the world, 29 years old, originally from Portugal. Novak Djokovic, the 31-year-old Serbian, of course, 13-time Grand Slam champion. These two have faced off 4 times in their career, with Djokovic winning all 4 matchups. Djokovic has not dropped a set to Souza in their 4 matches against each other. They most recently faced off in the French Open last year, round of 64. Djokovic with a 6-1, 6-4, 6-3 victory over Souza. Souza's played some fantastic tennis thus far in the tournament, unseeded of course, but he's defeated 2 top 20 players in the world en route to this 4th round matchup against Novak Djokovic. He defeated Carreño Busta of Spain in 5 sets. He also defeated Lucas Pouille, the number 17 seed of France, in the round of 32. That a 4-set battle, 7-6 in the 4th. He will face Novak Djokovic today at 2 p.m. Eastern here in Arthur Ashe Stadium. This is Souza's best Grand Slam appearance. He previously had reached the 3rd round in Wimbledon and the Australian Open a couple of times, but this is 4th round showing in a Grand Slam. Souza with 3 career titles, including the Estoril title this year. He defeated Francis Tiafoe in that final. He's the top-ranked Portuguese player in the world and was 0-5 in 3rd round matches in Grand Slams prior to his victory over Pouille. Novak Djokovic, of course, a 13-time Grand Slam champ. He won the Wimbledon title this year, defeating Kevin Anderson in the final and Rafa Nadal in the semi. He also took home another Masters 1000 title in Cincinnati, defeating Roger Federer in straight sets in that final. Djokovic, the first player to win all 9 Masters 1000 since these 9 were the group of Masters 1000 tournaments. Djokovic reached another final this year at the London Queen's Club tournament, losing to Marin Cilic. He also lost in the semis of the Masters 1000 in Rome to Rafa Nadal. Was a quarterfinalist in Roland Garros. His 4th Wimbledon title ended a career-long 54-week title drought. Djokovic, of course, battling some injuries, battling some focus issues on the court, went over a year without winning a title, but was able to capture that Wimbledon crown. He was the number 21 seed in that tournament. He was the lowest-ranked Grand Slam champion since Gaston Gaudio at 2004 French Open. Gaudio, the number 44 seed. He earned his 800th career win this year at the Queen's Club tournament when he defeated Mannarino in the quarterfinals. He had a match point in that final to Cilic, but ended up losing. He started the year on a bit of a difficult path. He was 6-6 in his first 12 matches of the year. Fell outside the top 20, as we mentioned, but finally returned to the top 10 after that Wimbledon victory in mid-July. He had a recent right elbow surgery. He missed roughly 6 months from the tour. But of course, Djokovic, one of the great players of all time, 4th all-time in career Grand Slams on the men's tour, looking to tie Pete Sampras with 14 should he win this year's U.S. Open. He's ended 4 years as the world number 1. He's one of only 7 players in tennis history to finish 4 seasons ranked number 1 in the world. He spent 223 weeks in total at number 1 in the world. That's 5th all time. He's qualified for the ATP Finals and 10 times. Owns 70 singles titles. That's 6th most in the Open era. 31 ATP Masters 1000 titles. That's 2nd all-time behind Rafa Nadal's 33. Let us know in the comments your predictions for this match between Novak Djokovic and Joao Souza to come later today. The second match on center court here in Arthur Ashe Stadium following Madison Keys and Dominika Sivulkova. We just saw the two of them out here practicing as well. That match will start at noon Eastern. One comment picking Novak to win the title this year. Christian in the comments, however, rooting for Rafa Nadal. We'll be bringing you Rafa's practice live at noon Eastern. Lung in the comments picking Novak to win today against the Portuguese star Souza. Djokovic was just the 8th player to complete the career Grand Slam and the 3rd to hold all 4 major titles at one time. He's a former Olympic medalist. He was a Davis Cup champion in 2010. Djokovic disappointed with himself after his first 2 opening rounds. He dropped a set to Fucsovics of Hungary and also dropped a set to Tennys Sandgren, the American who, of course, had his run in the Australian Open earlier this year. Djokovic, after the match against Sandgren, saying that he was disappointed specifically in his seeming lack of focus at times on the court, but played much better in a victory over the 26th seed and former Grand Slam semifinalist Richard Gasquet in the 3rd round. Djokovic with a 6-2, 6-3, 6-3 thrashing of Gasquet, and said after the match he was much happier with his focus throughout the match, and saying that he's certainly not underestimating Souza. Souza, of course, has wins against 2 top 20 players just this week, but Djokovic saying that he thinks that if he can maintain the same level of focus he had against Richard Gasquet, that he should have a great chance to win today. Novak Djokovic now switching sides as fans start to come in here to Arthur Ashe Stadium. Djokovic incredibly athletic, incredibly flexible on the court, such great anticipation, such exceptional court vision. He takes his fitness incredibly seriously. He was one of the first guys on the tour to take his nutrition incredibly seriously as well. Moment in the comments rooting for Novak Djokovic. Suzette picking Novak to win it all. Paolo in the comments, however, picking Joao Souza to upset the 13-time Grand Slam champ Novak Djokovic. Of course, Novak Djokovic on a possible collision course in the quarterfinals with none other than Roger Federer. Djokovic leads the all-time series against Roger Federer, and we could see another installment in that storied rivalry coming up in the quarterfinals. Federer plays today as well against Millman of Australia. Should Novak and Federer both win, they will face off on Wednesday in the quarterfinals. However, we do have half of our quarterfinal matchups already set. Rafa Nadal, the world #1, with a 4-set victory over Nicolas Basilashvili yesterday. Nadal will face Dominic Thiem, the #9 seed, in a rematch of this year's French Open final. Dominic Thiem got his first win against Kevin Anderson on a hard court. Anderson previously 6-0 against Thiem on hard courts, but Thiem with a straight set victory over the number 5 seed in last year's U.S. Open finalist Kevin Anderson. Nadal and Thiem will face off tomorrow. Juan Martín del Potro with a very impressive victory over next-gen superstar Croatian, just 21 years old, born at Shoreditch, in straight sets yesterday in the night session. And in another battle of the big servers, John Isner played another 5-set match against Milos Raonic. Raonic, the 25 seed, Isner, the number 11 seed and top-ranked American in the world. Isner has now played 2 5-set matches in the U.S. Open thus far, but he set up a quarterfinal battle against Juan Martín del Potro, that coming tomorrow as well. Federer and Millman will face off this evening in the final match of the evening here in Arthur Ashe Stadium. That will set the final quarterfinal pairing in this, the 50th U.S. Open. Also tonight, Suarez Navarro, the 30 seed, against Maria Sharapova, undefeated in evening matches in her career. The 22 seed looking for her second U.S. Open title. They'll be facing off at 7 p.m. Eastern. An exceptional day of tennis all around the grounds. Also today, Marin Cilic against David Goffin. We saw Goffin and Djokovic practicing together yesterday. Another battle of top 10 players there. Cilic, the number 7 seed, a former U.S. Open champ. David Goffin, the 10 seed of Belgium, looking to set their place in the quarterfinals. And also Kei Nishikori, a former U.S. Open finalist who lost to Marin Cilic a couple years back, will face off against the German Philipp Kohlschreiber, who defeated the young German Sasha Zverev, the number 4 seed. Nishikori, Kohlschreiber, and Cilic Goffin both today as well, and that will be the 4th possible quarterfinal pairing. Another beautiful day for tennis here. Of course, we had extreme heat for the first couple of days of the tournament. It should be hot again today, but thus far, a pretty day here in Flushing Meadows. The extreme heat policy in place, however, today as a precaution. That means that for all men's singles matches, a 10-minute break will be allowed between the 3rd and 4th sets if either player requests such a break. For all women's, boys, and girls singles matches with the Junior U.S. Opens underway as well, a 10-minute break will be allowed between the 2nd and 3rd sets if either player requests one. Appropriate medical timeouts for heat-related illnesses are allowed as well. Just 83 degrees right now. Feels like 91. However, it's expected to go as high as the low 90s, with the heat index over 100 degrees and on-court temperatures well over 100 degrees today. We'll keep monitoring how long that extreme heat policy will be in effect once again today. Again, we have an exciting day of practice coverage for you. In just about a half hour, we'll be bringing you Rafa Nadal, the defending champ and world number 1, his practice session live. We'll also be bringing you Maria Sharapova at 4:30 Eastern, and Roger Federer, the 20-time Grand Slam champ, at 5:30 Eastern. Sharapova at 4:30, Federer at 5:30. Make sure you keep it tuned in with us for that. Joey Brander here with you all tournament long, of course. Follow U.S. Open on social media as well as Myself, Joey Brander, for all the behind-the-scenes coverage from the Open. Tammy in the comments wishing Novak good luck. Souza, always a fighter on the court. He's got a big serve and a big forehand. Souza says the clay courts are his favorite surface, but he's had quite a bit of success on hard court as well. He's become much more offensive in recent years as he's improved on the hard courts. And as Novak Djokovic walks back to take a quick seat, they expect that to finish up his practice as they start preparing the court for the first match of the day between Madison Keys and Dominika Cibulkova. But keep it locked in here on US Open social media. We'll be bringing you Rafa Nadal's practice live in just under a half hour. Joey Brander here with you all tournament long, and we'll be back with the world #1, Rafa Nadal.